How's it going, guys? Deload week, and we kick things off with day one, which is my deadlift day. So, with it being deload, or deload session, I should say rather, the aim here is to grease the groove, meaning don't overdo it, focus on form, move everything nice and quick, and just feel better. Like, go into the session, you know, drop the weights down by a bit, go through the motions, get that pump, and just leave the gym feeling a lot better than when you first came in. Now, one of the things that I wanted to kind of highlight in this video and speak a little bit more about is how much should you be lifting during your deload week? And that's going to be depending on yourself, like wherever you're at in your training plan, how long you've been lifting for, and just generally how strong you are as well. Many people's deloads will be different. That doesn't necessarily mean that because you've seen someone, lift a decent amount, doesn't mean you should do too, or you should do the equivalent of where you're at. So, for example, you would have a lot of advanced lifters, power lifters, 200 kilos might be a deload for them. A 160 bench might be a deload for them, which is impressive because that's for most people, especially in the general public, that will be near enough round about their 1 rep maxes, or at least weights that they're aspiring to do. So if you're in that realm where these numbers are something that you'd love to hit just because you've been training very, very hard and you may not have gone close to that number, that doesn't necessarily mean that when it's deload, you still push those numbers as hard as you can. The whole point of a deload is for you to recover, to allow your central nervous system to just come down a little bit and then recharge once you feel ready, or I guess once your deload's done, I should say rather, then you should feel revitalized to then go hard and train just as much as you did before, right? It's almost like kind of going up a hill. If you're not fit, it's going to be very hard to go up a hill in one go. There's going to be times where you're going to have to rest a little bit. You're going to have to, catch your breath, and then you can go that little bit further. That's how I like to see, or I guess that's how I like to kind of paint the picture of how deloads should work in someone's training program. So you work up to whatever block, wherever objective, wherever short-term, mid-term goal that you got set out. Then you have a little deload, then you go again. And after every deload, you should be always aiming to go a little bit heavier, as well as all your other deloads, or your future deloads should also be heavier than the last deload. Now, how much should you lift? Going back to that question. As I said before, it'll be dependent on you. For me, today's session, I did 3 sets of 1. I started off at 100 kilos. Then on my second set, I worked up to 140. And then on my last set, I worked up to 160. Now, this was all done for 1 rep. As you can see, I did it beltless. And now that I'm starting to reintroduce the Texas bar that we use in competition, I'm also bringing back the hook grip. Now, for me, 160 kilos is light, okay? But that's not for me to brag or, blow my own trumpet. But for me, that is a lightweight. Therefore, I can manage and recover very well after doing this 160 kilos. And that's the main thing. That's what you want to achieve for yourself in regards to how much you should be lifting during your deload. You want to lift as much as you can recover pretty much very quick from. You don't want to feel too fatigued. You don't want to feel like, oh my God, that was so heavy, or you start to feel muscles spasming or anything like that. You want to lift as much as you can lift any single day of the week, whether you got a cold, women during menstrual cycles, like you name it. You want to lift the weight you can do any given time. Keep it light, and that's the same for your accessories as well. Push your accessories where you see fit. Keep them light. Chase that pump, and don't overdo it. So how much should you lift? As much as you can recover from. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe.